Hey everyone, before we get into today's video, I just wanted to say thanks to everyone who subscribed to my channel. We just hit the 100 subscriber milestone, which I know doesn't seem like much, but given that we started with a big old goose egg, it's kind of a huge deal for me. So thanks again and stay tuned. I'm going to do my best to keep the videos coming and to make sure they're the highest quality they can be. Without any further ado, let's get into today's movie. Good luck, have fun, don't die. The first thing I want to say about this movie is that it will not be to everyone's taste. It's a little surreal, it's a little off the beaten path, and it's not structured in the normal blockbustery sort of way. Now, with that being said, if you let yourself be open to the experience, I can guarantee that it'll be one of, if not the best movies you'll see all year. And I say that knowing full well that we've still got 10 months to go. It's got the same kind of vibes as something like Cabin in the Woods, or The World's End, or even Zombieland. A little surrealist to be sure, but still accessible if you're into those kinds of movies. I definitely am, and I cannot say enough good things about this movie. I'm going to try to keep my comments on it as spoiler-free as possible, in case you want to check it out, but once it drops on DVD and streaming, I'm hoping to come back to it and go into a little bit more depth. So let me know down in the comments if that's something you'd be interested in seeing. That being said, I will be going into some of the broad strokes regarding the ending at the tail end of this video. Don't worry, I'll give you plenty of warnings so you can skip ahead if you want to. All good? Let's go. It's something of a rarity in Hollywood these days to have no weak links in your core cast, but Good Luck, Have Fun, Don't Die manages to do it without even trying. Zazie Beetz, Michael Pena, Juno Temple, Haley Lu Richardson, and all the rest turn in great performances that kept me involved with them for every second they were on screen. As always, however, Sam Rockwell is the absolute standout. He commands the screen, as he has in every movie he's ever done. From Moon to The Green Mile to Three Billboards, even Hitchhiker's Guide and Iron Man 2. And, as always, Galaxy Quest.
Is there air? You don't know!
He is brilliantly at ease here as the perpetually annoyed and more than slightly off-kilter man from the future, who's trapped in his own personal Groundhog Day. On the strength of this cast alone, I would recommend you see this movie. It will not be a wasted experience. One of the ways this movie sets itself apart is by the way it's structured. Its core cast of characters are each given their own vignettes that explain not only their motivations, but the world they find themselves trapped in. The best way I can describe it is that something is very wrong in their world, and they seem to be the only ones that can recognize it. And it's this recognition that spurs them on to join Sam Rockwell in his quest. Each vignette is replete with the kinds of futurist horror that science fiction writers have been trying to warn us about for the last 50 years. And all of them are reduced down, and that's the cooking term, mind you, to their core concepts for maximum value in this 2-hour movie. Think of them as miniaturized Black Mirror episodes that give you just enough to piece the truth together along with the characters. Now, I'll freely admit that it can be a little jarring at first when the movie smash cuts to black in order to initiate one of these side stories. But like I said earlier, if you give yourself over to it, you'll start to understand just what it is that this movie is trying to say. Now, Good Luck, Have Fun, Don't Die wears its influences proudly on its sleeve. Hell, its title is a reference to multiplayer video games. For those of you who aren't gamers, that phrase is used in online multiplayer matches, whether that be against other players or boss fights in MMOs or what have you. In addition, I noticed references to the Deus Ex franchise, the Halo franchise, Cyberpunk 2077, Portal, and even BioShock of all things. I know I promised minimal spoilers, but those sharp-eyed among you probably have noticed a couple common themes there. It's just really gratifying to see gamer culture on such prominent display. When I was a kid, we gamers were basically shunned to the back of the cafeteria where we talked about this stuff in hushed tones between rounds of Magic the Gathering or Pokemon. Now, all of this is not to say that these references overtake the movie. On the contrary, most of them are blink and you miss it types of deals that do nothing to really add or detract from the overall film. They're just fun little nods that let you get inside the heads of Matthew Robinson and Gore Verbinski. If I'm being totally honest here, Good Luck, Have Fun, Don't Die feels like a scream into the void. It feels like everyone on the creative team had something they really wanted to say about we, and by we I mean humanity, are headed. Over and over again we see themes of societal detachment, of how technology has completely destroyed our relationships to our fellow men. When confronted with abject horror, we would rather film it on our phones and post it to social media for a few likes instead of saving ourselves. The biological imperatives of self-preservation and reproduction have been destroyed in favor of the dopamine hit of watching a view counter go up. People are reduced to a few vague personality traits, and no one seems to care as long as the skin suit they wear looks the same. And that's really the crux of it. Nobody cares. Out of every piece of existential horror that this movie brings to bear, the most terrifying thing to me is that people know. They see it. They recognize it. They just don't care. And on top of that whole nightmare, the film delves into the realities of what such technology actually means. Children become avatars, genetically modified and spewing advertisements. Parents don't mind as long as they look right and act right. Virtual reality becomes so enrapturing that people voluntarily put themselves in capsules, hooked up to tubes that handle their various bodily functions. Artificial intelligence doesn't take over through nuclear holocaust or wars fought by red-eyed mechs, but by degrees. It feeds you cat videos on TikTok. It listens to your conversations. It inserts itself into your life under the guise of making it easier. Little by little, it subsumes you until in the end, you don't even care. Why should I do XYZ when ChatGPT can just do it for me? I know it's been pretty doom and gloom up until this point, and to be honest, that's how it felt when I was watching this film. However, like all the best dystopian fiction, the writers knew to give us the barest glimmer of hope at the end of it. Rather than let humanity slip passively into this horrifying future, the main characters decide that the pendulum could be swung back the other way by force. Basically, they wanted to pull a reverse Terminator, which is just peak writing from my perspective. That is how you subvert expectations, not whatever the hell this is. It was clean, it was elegant, and it expertly closed the loop of the movie while leaving a thread into the next adventure, which, frankly, I hope we never get. Good Luck, Have Fun, Don't Die is a perfectly encapsulated movie that needs no further explanation, be it a prequel, sequel, video game, television series, or a novelization. My only complaint is that I feel like it probably won't receive the fanfare necessary to catapult it into mainstream status. People really need to see this movie. Not just because it's a great film, but because of its core message. This shit's coming, people, sooner than we think, and a lot of it is already here. But, as anyone who spends an inordinate amount of time on the internet can tell you, the best possible way you can avoid this is by simply touching grass. Have a barbecue, go to the gym, read a book, talk to your fellow man face to face and not through a fucking app. Put the screens away. I know, it's becoming impossible these days. Before the movie even started, there were ads for AI and fully electronic Escalades that had nothing but LED displays. Which just... oh, the irony. Anyway, I'm not here to get all preachy on you. I'm just as guilty of it as the next person. It's just food for thought. Good Luck, Have Fun, Don't Die is a masterclass of filmmaking. It's culturally relevant without being sanctimonious. It's appropriately terrifying while still knowing when and how to pump the brakes with comedy. The cast all bring their A games, and it shakes up the traditional methods of storytelling through film such that it was refreshingly new-ish. I cannot recommend this movie enough for people who are fans of things like the Cornetto trilogy or who like the offbeat vibes of films like Zombieland and Cabin in the Woods. Go see it while you can, because I'm not too sure how long it'll be in theaters given its utter lack of marketing push. You will not be disappointed that you did. Anyway, that's all I've got for you this time, so if you could do me a favor and hit the like and subscribe buttons, I'd really appreciate it. Every little bit really helps me out. Also, head down in the comments and let me know if there's anything you guys would like to see me cover in a future video. And while you're at it, go ahead and take a look at the other videos on my channel, or hit up my website to see my blog and maybe check out one of my books on Amazon. Thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.